Guys, what happening in Iran right now isn't just the another protest cycle, and that's why it's being downplayed here. Because when the demonstrations turn into something harder to control, silence also becomes a strategy. So, according to multiple reports and the analysts tracking the situation closely, Iran has seen nearly 2 weeks of sustained unrest spreading to more than 100 cities, including Tehran as well. So, guys, this isn't just one neighborhood, this isn't one group, this is widespread coordinated anger. So the real question is, why such protest? Iranians aren't protesting over a single law or a temporary price hike. They are protesting a system that has delivered decades of economic pressure, international isolation, corruption, unemployment, currency collapse, and a government that spends heavily on a foreign influence while ordinary citizens still struggle to survive. Now, inflation has crushed the purchasing power. Jobs don't pay enough to live. Opportunities are limited unless you are connected to the system. And that's when people feel they have nothing left to lose. Fear stops working. That's why a report suggests protesters in some areas have overwhelmed security forces and taken control of parts of cities. And here is where it gets even more telling. Legally, the Iranian government has restored to offering citizens the equivalent of about $7 to stop protesting. Think about what that signals. When a government tries to buy silence for the price of meal, it's not confidence, it's a panic. It suggests the regime understands that force alone may not be enough this time, and this movement may not exist in isolation. Some analysts believe recent global events acted as a psychological trigger. The public capture of Venezuela's President Maduro and his removal to face charges sent a message that once felt unthinkable to authoritarian allies. Leaders who seemed untouchable can fall quickly. Iran and Venezuela have long been aligned politically and strategically. Watching that unfold publicly would naturally get Tehran's attention, and add to that the very visible movement of US military and intelligence assets in the region, which many believe is intentional signaling rather than secrecy. Then there is another layer people aren't talking about. During the Venezuela operation, report suggests that Russian and Chinese made air defense systems never fired. Iran uses similar systems that raises uncomfortable questions inside Iranian leadership about whether their defenses are as reliable as advertised or whether the outside powers retain unseen leverage. Meanwhile, Russia and China appear usually calm, not shocked, not reactive. That fuels speculation, right or wrong, that quiet understandings may already exist behind the scenes. And while some of those stories are debated, what's undeniable is this: the Iranian regime is under internal pressure it hasn't faced in years, and the population senses vulnerability. Revolutions don't begin when people are comfortable, they begin when legitimacy collapses. So, when protesters no longer believe reform is possible, when governments respond with cash offer instead of solution, and whether this movement succeeds or is crushed remains to be seen. But history shows that once fear breaks, it's almost impossible to restore it fully. That's why this matters. Not because of any single analyst theory, but because millions of Iranians are testing the limits of power in real time. And if this continues, the consequences won't stop at Iran's border. The world may be watching the early chapters of a much larger shift, whether the headlines admit it or not. So, guys, thank you so much for joining in today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think on this protest? And can Venezuela like situation can happen in Tehran as well? And why the Khamenei is afraid, or it's a similar situation can happen in Iran as well? Let me know your thoughts in the comment. If you like this video, kindly give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you are new to this channel. Thank you.